I was sitting on my porch the other day watching the world go by, and a thought struck me. What's the secret to staying vibrant as the years add up? Is it luck? Good genes? Or is it something we can actually do something about? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not just luck. In fact, there are simple, everyday choices we can make to keep that spark alive, no matter what life throws our way. So today, let's talk about what really matters for a happy, healthy life after 60. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It's not about chasing youth or following some strict regimen. It's about embracing the things that make you feel alive. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Easier said than done. But trust me, these aren't complicated ideas. They're small shifts, tiny habits that add up to something big. Let's start with the first one. And I promise, by the end of our time together, you'll feel inspired to take that first step. Let's begin with something we all know, but might not always prioritize: movement. And before you groan, hear me out. I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting weights at the gym, unless that's your thing, of course. No, I'm talking about finding joy in simply using your body. Take my friend Margie, for example. She's 72 and swore she'd never set foot in a yoga class. But one day, her granddaughter dragged her to a gentle chair yoga session. And guess what? Margie loved it. Not because it was intense, but because it reminded her how good it feels to stretch, breathe, and move without pressure. Now she does 10 minutes of stretching every morning while her coffee brews. It's like giving my body a thank you note, she says. The point is, movement doesn't have to be a chore. It could be dancing to your favorite song while vacuuming, tending to your garden, or even pacing the living room during phone calls. The key is to keep your muscles engaged, your joints lubricated, and your blood flowing. Because here's the truth. Your body thrives on motion. When you move regularly, you're not just helping your bones and heart, you're boosting your mood too. Ever noticed how a short walk can clear the fog in your mind? That's your body saying thank you. Now let's talk about something just as important, maybe even more important than physical activity: connection. Human beings aren't meant to live in isolation, especially as we age. But here's the tricky part. Life after 60 can sometimes feel lonelier than we expected. Kids are busy, friends move away, and routines change. But here's the good news. It's never too late to build new connections or deepen the ones you have. Think about Bill, a retired teacher in my neighborhood. After his wife passed, he spent months feeling adrift. Then one day he saw a flyer for a community woodworking workshop. He'd never held a chisel in his life, but he went anyway. Fast forward a year, and Bill's not only crafting beautiful bowls, he's part of a tight-knit group that meets every Thursday. They laugh, they share stories, and they've even started volunteering to build picnic tables for the local park. The lesson here? Connection doesn't always mean big family gatherings or lifelong friendships. It's about showing up, whether that's at a book club, a volunteer group, or even a weekly phone call with your sister. And don't underestimate the power of casual connections either. A chat with your mail carrier, a wave to the neighbor walking their dog, these tiny moments remind us we're part of a community. So far, we've covered two pillars of a vibrant life: moving your body and nurturing connections. But there's another piece of the puzzle, one that's often overlooked. It's about feeding not just your body or your social calendar, but your spirit. You see, happiness after 60 isn't just about avoiding aches or staying busy. It's about finding moments that make you feel truly you. Maybe that's rediscovering an old hobby like painting or playing the piano. Or maybe it's something entirely new, learning to bake sourdough, writing letters to your grandkids, or even sitting quietly with a great book. The trick is to listen to that quiet voice inside that says, "This brings me joy." Because when you do, you're not just passing time, you're crafting a life that feels rich and meaningful. But we'll save that conversation for our next chapter. For now, why not try one small thing today? Stretch your arms toward the sky, call an old friend, or simply sit outside and watch the clouds drift by. After all, life's biggest joys are often hiding in the simplest moments. If you're still watching this video and find this information valuable, please comment your thoughts below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. And now let's continue. There's something about a sunny afternoon in the kitchen, isn't there? It reminds me that taking care of ourselves isn't just about doing, it's also about nourishing. And that brings us to our next big piece of the puzzle: what we put on our plates. Now, I'm not here to lecture you about kale or quinoa, though if you love them, more power to you. The truth is, eating well after 60 isn't about strict diets or counting calories. It's about listening to your body and giving it the fuel it craves. Let me tell you about my cousin, Roy. For years, he survived on toast and coffee for breakfast, claiming he wasn't a breakfast person. Then one morning, his daughter brought over a smoothie: spinach, banana, a scoop of peanut butter and almond milk. Roy took one sip and said, "This tastes like a milkshake." Now, he starts every day with a different blend, sometimes berries, sometimes mango, and swears he's got more energy than he did a decade ago. The lesson: small tweaks matter. Maybe it's adding a handful of nuts to your salad for crunch and protein, or swapping sugary snacks for a piece of dark chocolate and a few almonds. And here's a pro tip: color is your friend. The more colors on your plate, red peppers, purple cabbage, bright orange carrots, the wider the range of nutrients you're giving your body. It's like a rainbow of goodness. Now let's talk about something we don't always want to admit affects us as much as it does: stress. Life after 60 can come with its own unique worries, health changes, financial concerns, or even just the quiet anxiety of what's next. But here's the thing: stress isn't just in your head. It settles in your shoulders, your stomach, your sleep. And over time, it can take a real toll. Take my neighbor, Helen. She spent years juggling a high-pressure job and caring for her husband. And when she finally retired, she thought the stress would vanish. But it didn't. It just morphed into something new. Then her doctor said something that stuck with her. Stress is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. So Helen decided to try something radical: 10 minutes of quiet. Every morning, she sits by her window with a cup of tea, no phone, no to-do list, just her the birds outside, and her own breath. She says it's like hitting a reset button for her day. You don't need a fancy app or a meditation cushion to do this. It could be sitting in your garden, doodling in a notebook, or even closing your eyes and humming a tune you love. The goal isn't to empty your mind, it's to give yourself permission to pause. Because here's the secret. When you manage stress, you're not just calming your nerves. You're protecting your heart, your brain, and your ability to enjoy the moments that matter. You know, plants are great teachers. Give them sunlight, water, and a little attention, and they'll grow in ways that surprise you. People aren't so different. Which brings me to my next point, purpose. Now that word might sound lofty, but it doesn't have to be. Purpose isn't about changing the world. It's about finding what makes you feel useful, curious, or excited to get out of bed. Let me share a story. A few years ago, my friend Clara retired from her job as a librarian. She loved her work, and without it, she felt untethered. Then one day, her grandson asked her to help him build a model rocket for school. Clara knew nothing about rockets, but they dove into research together. Library books, YouTube, videos, the whole works. That project turned into a monthly Science Saturday where Clara teaches local kids about everything from constellations to volcanoes. I feel like I've got a second act, she told me. Your purpose might be mentoring, gardening, advocating for a cause, or even organizing family photo albums. It doesn't need to be grand. It just needs to mean something to you. Because when you have a reason to lean into the day, you're not just filling time. You're creating a life that feels worth waking up for. So we've nourished our bodies, quieted our stress, and planted seeds of purpose. But there's one more thing that ties it all together. Something so simple, yet so powerful. And trust me, it's closer than you think. You know, I used to think gratitude was just something people talked about around the holidays. A polite thank you here and there. But a few years ago, I stumbled on a little experiment that changed my mind. Every night before bed, I started jotting down one tiny thing I was grateful for that day. Some days it was big, like hearing my granddaughters laugh over the phone. Other days, it was as simple as the way sunlight hit my favorite coffee mug. And over time, something shifted. Those small moments began to outshine the worries. That's the power of gratitude. It's not about ignoring life's challenges, but about turning up the volume on the good. Take my buddy Frank. He's had his share of health struggles, but he started ending every phone call by saying, "Tell me something good." At first his friends were puzzled, but now they race to share their little joys. A blooming rose bush, a perfectly ripe tomato, a grandkid's first bike ride. Frank says it's like collecting treasures, and the best part, it's contagious. So why not try it? Keep a gratitude jar by the fridge, or share a bright moment with a friend over tea. You'll be amazed how these small acts can reframe your days. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. We've talked about moving your body in ways that bring joy, nurturing connections, old and new, and feeding yourself with good food, calm moments, and a sense of purpose. And now gratitude, the glue that holds it all together. But here's the thing. None of this is about perfection. It's about progress. Maybe today you'll take a stroll around the block. Or maybe you'll just wiggle your toes to a song you love. Maybe you'll call a friend. Or maybe you'll smile at a stranger in the grocery line. Every tiny choice adds up. My neighbor, Ethel, put it best. Growing older isn't about slowing down. It's about savoring up. And she's right. It's about finding what makes your heart light and leaning into it. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. You've spent decades caring for others, building lives, and weathering storms. Now's the time to gift yourself the same kindness. Start small. Pick one thing from our chat that resonates with you. Whether it's stretching like Margie, finding your Science Saturday like Clara, or hunting for daily joys like Frank. Then build from there. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear what's lighting up your days, or what habits you're excited to try. If this video resonated with you, pass it along to a friend, or hit that like button. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. We're all about celebrating life's next chapters, and I'd be honored to have you join this community. Here's to you, to the wisdom you've earned, the joy you're creating, and the countless small adventures still ahead. Because life after 60, it's not a winding down, it's a rising up.